and welcome to Talking Kid vs. Cat, Episode 7. I'm your host, Mr. Demon Cat, and this is a podcast about all things Kid vs. Cat animated series related. Apologies if Mr. Rapcat made me take a break from using my demon voice in Episode 6 of my Talking Kid vs. Cat podcast. Some random CapCut AI-generated female voice helped me mention Lone and Harley from Kid vs. Cat earlier in Episode 6 of that. The full episode is available to listen for free. Fast forward to today, I'm gonna get back to what Mr. Rapcat did later at the end of this episode. But for now, we're gonna talk about Fiona Munson from Kid vs. Cat. Let's begin! First up, who is Fiona Munson? For those who do not know who Fiona is Munson is Coop's first girlfriend that I also saw in Kid vs. Cat so far. Fiona is also a female relative of Oldie Munson, who sometimes also lives with in prison. She is also being referred to some degree of aunt, and also some kind of a relationship with other people. Fiona is also the main protagonist of the show, and her first appearance in Kid vs. Cat is Something About Fiona in Season 2, Episode 1. Fiona Munson is voiced by Sean Zanny, who also plays the role of her, and this is what her voice sounds like.
I'm Fiona. You must be Coop, the rotten kid who lives next door who still wets his pants.
There's also no birthday given for Fiona Munson at the moment. She may be 9 years old, but at the time of Kid vs. Cat Season 2, she was 10 years old. Fiona also likes Coop, her first boyfriend she also saw earlier in Season 2, Episode 1. The specifics are not really clear, since there are slight variations in how it's described in some episodes. In Cat of Diamonds, Fiona says, great Aunt Oldie Munson. In You Can't See Me, Fiona also says, I'm a dog sitting growling while Auntie Munson goes to a Garden Gnome convention tonight. But what else did Fiona say at the end of Something About Fiona?
Bye, great Auntie Munson. I'll visit you again soon.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Somebody took Fiona to jail? Blah, 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 blah. Oh no, I also saw Fiona waving her hands goodbye to Coop and her aunt and his dad, Bert. Wait, Fiona got arrested for breaking out of Oldie Munson's house earlier that night? This is not cool for a young girl to do that. Wait a second. How much did Fiona appear more in Kid vs. Cat? I have not mentioned her appearances in the show yet. The following episodes that Fiona Munson also did not appear in all of Kid vs. Cat Season 1. Let the games begin, Night of the Zombie Cat, Trespassers Will Be Persecuted, Meow Meow Meow, Do Not Forsake Me, Cookie Duh, Nip Duck, Search and Detour, Florida Coop, Class Act, Hypnocat, The Allergy, Just Me Glue, You'll Be So Sorry, How the Test is Won, I'm Okay Young Cat, Dial B for Babysitter, The Glass is Always Meaner, One Big Happy Family, Happy Campers, You Have Float, Playing Ice, House of Scream, Planters Warp, Curse of Two Kitties Tomb, Pet Peeve, Don't Give Me No Static, Storm Drains, Fishy Frisky Business, Teed Off, Something Fishy in Our Lake, Dire Education, Crouching Cooper Hidden Cat, Tomcat Foley, In Dog We Trust, Catch My Drift, Suddenly Last Slammer, The Kitty Vanishes, Capture the Cat, Outer Space Case, Buzz Off, Fat Cat, Cat Whisperer, Bed the White Buttonburger, Stole That Jazz, Under Destruction, Hat Cat Tack, and It's a Rocket Man. For Kid vs. Cat Season 1 holiday specials, Fiona Munson also did not appear in the following Halloween-themed episodes, Beware the Were Coop and Trick or Thread. She also did not appear in the final episode of Kid vs. Cat Season 1, Kid vs. Cat vs. Christmas Parts 1 and 2. Wait, what about the clothes that Fiona wears? Fiona Munson has her light blue sleeves on, and also her blue shirt and dress on, when not in her soccer outfit. Fiona is also in her soccer outfit, and she has light blue and black sleeves on. She even has her blue shirt and black shorts on. Fiona also has her pink shoes on, when not in her soccer outfit, and also her light blue shoes on, when she's in her soccer outfit. Fiona Munson also has a gold yellow hair, or ponytail, on top of her head, much like how Ariana Grande also has a ponytail. Speaking of Ariana Grande, I also hear her voice while listening to her songs on the radio. Fiona Munson also reminds me of Ariana Grande, and she is thinking of having her voice Fiona. I think I also saw someone else post a link to an AI cover of Charzani's voice on YouTube. Tiana33 posted a comment to a link to Fiona Munson having a sing in the Barbie Rock and Roll movie on someone else's post I saw on YouTube. Unfortunately, it's not going to be played for copyright and monetization purposes in this Talking Kid vs. Cat podcast episode. For now, let's get back to what Fiona did in the Something About Fiona episode. Fiona went to her room in Old Lady Munson's house, having her lights on next to her great-aunt upstairs. Old Lady Munson began telling Coop to stay away from Fiona, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Old Lady Munson scaring me. Coop went back to being with his best friend Dennis in his room upstairs. Later the following day, Fiona got out of a bad neighbor's house to go outside in the afternoon. Ron and Harley also began skateboarding outside with their helmet and other safety on, until this happened. Ron and Harley also began meeting Fiona in person in the Something About Fiona episode. Fiona also helped Ron and Harley how to do good at skateboarding. And this is also my first time seeing Fiona skateboard in Kid vs. Cat in the Something About Fiona episode. Harley also thinks that Fiona is a young professional skateboarder, huh? Okay, I guess. Coop also began showing Fiona how to skateboard without needing help. I think I also saw Fiona bring her soccer ball to the park outside. Mr. Cat also began making Coop and Fiona cause trouble outside at the park. Pretty bad, right? You see? Child's play. What the heck is going on here? I think I also saw Old Lady Munson take Fiona away from Coop again. Oh, now she's going back home again. Evidently, they met each other yet again later that night, because for every trouble that Coop and Fiona caused, Old Lady Munson takes her niece back home with her. Very disappointing. Very disappointing from them. Okay, everyone, let's look at the differences between Kid vs. Cat Season 1 and Season 2 intros. I'm going to look at Fiona Munson in the Season 2 intro. Anthony Casemiro posted the Kid vs. Cat intro comparison from 2008 to 2011 on YouTube and showed me this. Fiona Munson became invisible in the Season 1 intro on the left of my screen. She finally appeared in the Season 2 intro on the right of my video screen that I'm watching. The changes include Fiona next to her old niece, Old Lady Munson, in a beautiful garden outside, next to the plants and the flowers, and the playground at the new end of the Kid vs. Cat intro. Fiona waved hello to Coop in the Season 2 intro, but Old Lady Munson told Coop again not to meet Fiona in person yet again. If you're Fiona Munson and you saw Coop in person again, chances are you have less than 10 appearances than the main Kid vs. Cat characters you also saw in all 52 episodes I watched. Some random Kid vs. Cat creator added Fiona Munson to the Kid vs. Cat Season 2 intro I also watched, and I'll never understand why Fiona has less appearances than Coop, Dennis, Millie, Coop's dad, Bert, and other main characters in Kid vs. Cat. Basically what Fiona does is make her become invisible in all of Kid vs. Cat Season 1. Kid vs. Cat fans also think that Fiona is a female hero, huh? Not quite yet, but here's what else Fiona appeared in Kid vs. Cat Season 2. So here I also have a list of other Kid vs. Cat episodes featuring Fiona. This is for Kid vs. Cat Season 2 only. I'll go over them right now. Never Cry Sheep, You Cats See Me, Birthday Bashed, Bored Cat, Cat of Diamonds, and the final Kid vs. Cat half-hour special I also watched, The Cat Went Back, Parts 1 and 2. In the Never Cry Sheep episode, Dennis noticed a note that says, Dear Coop, I knitted this just for you. Hope you like it. From Fiona. Alright, I guess? Fiona also began meeting Dennis in that episode I also watched. This is my second time seeing Fiona in the Kid vs. Cat episode Never Cry Sheep. Earlier in episode 2 of my Talking Kid vs. Cat podcast, I also mentioned Coop and Fiona in my Waking Kid vs. Cat Ships video, and I also put it in the good tier list. I'm thinking of rewatching it yet again later in 2025. Moving on to the third episode featuring Fiona Munson, You Can't See Me. Coop invited Fiona to dinner in the night. Fiona also resembles Miss Flanagan, both being long-haired ponytailed blondes with blue eyes and facial freckles. The fourth episode I also watched is Birthday Bashed. The part where Fiona began meeting Phoebe in person has shocked me. Phoebe also saw Fiona in person at a bowling place inside. Phoebe attempts to get rid of Fiona Munson being with Coop, but she never listens. Phoebe and Fiona being together is also having less screen time than I'm watching. As they get out of bowling to go outside, Coop's worst friends have crashed his birthday party. Fiona appeared for the second time again as I resumed watching Birthday Bashed. Fiona began spying on Phoebe being with Coop's friends while being up in the trees in the forest outside. Wait, Phoebe also crashed Coop's birthday party? No way! This made me smile a little. I cannot believe this girl, man. I cannot believe these girls. Fiona Munson began betraying Phoebe by getting close to her, using her strings that she made down to where Phoebe is. About 4 hours later, Coop and Fiona also saw Millie score bowling. Coop's other friend made Phoebe get out of bowling, then later made Coop and Fiona resume being together at the end of the Birthday Bash episode. Coop and Fiona also smiled and laughed at the same time, and that's how the Kid vs. Kat episode Birthday Bash ends. In the Boy Cat episode, Fiona began going outside and also met Millie, old lady Munson, and the dog in person. Fiona also realized that Coop and Kat have swapped their bodies outside. Kat decides to put Coop in trouble, but what else did Fiona see? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Fiona also saw Coop spinning a hairball at her and said this.
Hello? Ew! You're disgusting!
What the heck was that? That is a disgusting act by Coop Bootsville inside Kat's body. 10 minutes later, Fiona also began meeting Kyle. They both began learning skills too. Fiona also realized that Kat is inside Coop's body. Kat talked to Fiona using Coop's voice, but I don't understand. I do not understand. A few hours later, Fiona went back to being with Coop at Coop's house, playing video games with each other, which is also nice, I guess. Coop also apologized to her girlfriend Fiona before playing video games with Dennis and other friends. Moving on to the Cat of Diamonds episode, Coop and Fiona settled their argument before working together to get their revenge on Cat and his evil tracks. Coop told Fiona not to worry about it. Coop used the landline phone to leave a message to Fiona asking if she'd be wanting to come along with him, along with Dennis to also track down Cat. Coop's message is now being cut off, however. Fiona also did not pick up the landline from her friends. Coop and Fiona also began having a disagreement, in which I also saw Maria_Alia8 post on YouTube earlier in January 2025. Coop and Fiona got to the top of the blackout ring and charged right at the purple culprit. Fiona catches the ring, but Coop tries to take it away. Coop and Fiona are also shown on top of Kat's blackout ring. Fiona grabs Coop by his skirt while they grab the remote. Fiona then later confesses to Coop that she likes him. Coop also showed Fiona a diamond ring earlier in the Cat of Diamonds episode. Old Lady Munson also spotted Coop with the diamonds she also has and later took her back home, meaning Coop's girlfriend Fiona will have to stay even longer for another week or two. And last but not least, it's Fiona Munson also making her final appearance in Kid vs. Kat, The Cat Went Back Parts 1 and 2. The Cat Went Back begins with Coop and Dennis using their alien-themed weapons to try and catch aliens outside. Fiona Munson also met the two boys yet again, trying to do the same with what Coop and Dennis also did. She also goes to the forest, where the trees and bushes are, with Coop and Dennis, and she also follows what they also did. Fiona and Dennis also resumed being together without Coop in the Cat Went Back episode. Speaking of Fiona and Dennis, I also do not include them either in my Ranking Kid vs. Kat ships video. An hour later, Coop, Dennis, Fiona, Lauren, and Harley were also taken to Kat's planet inside the alien's vehicle. They were also taken to alien jail, and they survived being there for over an hour or more. Fiona Munson also helped Coop, Dennis, and other friends get out of jail on an alien planet. About 10 minutes later, Fiona went back to seeing Coop and Kat being together at the playground outside. This was at the end of The Cat Went Back Part 2. Coop did something to Fiona by touching her using the weapons that Kat used previously. He also changed Fiona's feelings and expressions, and then later made Fiona tell Coop not to do something bad to Cat. Guess what? That was Fiona Munson's last ever appearance in Kid vs. Cat. There were supposed to be more appearances for Fiona Munson, but despite the show's end, that never happened. There wasn't even a special episode that also has Easter eggs showing Fiona appear in Kid vs. Cat Season 1. So, I counted the amount of appearances that featured Fiona in Kid vs. Cat, and Fiona probably has 8 appearances in Kid vs. Cat all time so far. I think she still has way less appearances than Coop, Dennis, and Millie. I also went on to rewatch Fiona in Kid vs. Cat over and over and over again. I'll tell you exactly how you can make Fiona appear more in Kid vs. Cat. And if anyone makes Kid vs. Cat Season 3 later in the future, then they should also spend more time making Fiona Munson appear and less time making Coop and Cat appear so many times. I've also not done a fan-made Kid vs. Cat episode featuring Fiona yet, but maybe make more Fiona Munson image-only artworks like I did earlier in the past 2 years, from 2024 to 2025, and also post them to my Divine Arts. You can also continue practicing drawing Fiona from Kid vs. Cat digitally or on paper, and also potentially make your own Kid vs. Cat comic strip featuring Fiona Munson, like I also did in 2025. There's also my main channel's viewers commenting on my Kid vs. Cat, but only when Fiona's on screen video I posted earlier last year. And I totally agree with Maria and Tiana33. My Kid vs. Cat, but only when Fiona's on screen video has not gained a lot of views in 2024. It has now began increasing views later in 2025, and my Kid vs. Cat, but only when Fiona's on screen video has seen a 110% increase in total view count that year versus last year. And I also appreciate you guys for making it happen that year. My first email message has arrived, but who is it? Mr. Rapcat emailed me about my Talking Kid vs. Cat podcast and said this. Mr. Rapcat also does not want to reveal his voice, but I'll read what he says via email. Hello, Mr. Demon Cat. I'm Mr. Rapcat, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas' new fan. I'm also hip-hop and R&B clean version maker. I didn't know you became Kid vs. Cat's biggest fan. When are you making your own Kid vs. Cat animated short using Krita, OpenTunes, and CapCut? Wait, you're also an expert at naming Kid vs. Cat characters? Oh my. One day, you'll become a Kid vs. Cat superfan. Good luck rewatching all 52 episodes of your number 4 favorite show, Kid vs. Cat, from Mr. Rapcat. Oh my gosh! Mr. Rapcat became the first person to email me about my Talking Kid vs. Cat podcast. Thank you, 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 Mr. Rapcat. The Autistic Girl 2025 posted a comment on my post asking people's thoughts on Fiona Munson's aunt, Old Lady Munson, and she said this. She's terrible. Mr. Rapcat also made a comment on my post asking people's thoughts on Fiona Munson's aunt, Old Lady Munson, and he also said this. Not good, and she reminds me of Sweet and Candle from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I also agree with Mr. Rapcat too. Kid vs. Cat viewers can also leave their comments and thoughts on Fiona Munson. What do you think of Fiona from Kid vs. Cat? Do you think Fiona's a good girl? Let's talk in the comments. And that's it for episode 7 of my Talking Kid vs. Cat podcast. You can also follow Talking Kid vs. Cat podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and other streaming platforms. I'm your host, Mr. Demon Cat. I'll see you in episode 8. Goodbye.